At this time, St. Landry Parish government calls its public hearing. St. Landry Parish Council hereby gives notice that it will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, March 19th, 2025 at the Old City Market located at 131 West Bellevue Street, Opelousas. The hearing is for the purpose of receiving any and all objections from the general public in connection with the following. We will start with ordinance number 2025-004 that was sponsored by Councilwoman Mildred Theory. An ordinance to amend St. Landry Parish Code of Ordinances, section 44.3, to have a speed limit of 20 miles per hour for Compress Road in front of the school. And the speed limit of 20 miles per hour shall also be imposed 500 feet from the property line of the school in both directions. We will have any questions, comments, or concerns for 15 minutes. If anyone on the council has anything, Ms. Mildred, would you like to speak on it first?
I don't think so. It's self-explanatory. I don't have to say anymore.
Thank you, ma'am. We will wait 15 minutes. Anybody has comments? Yes, sir. Mr. Mark?
Mr. Chairman, I was wondering, do they have a current speed limit on that road as we speak? And if they do, how far does it cover?
Okay, Ms. Mildred, you can answer.
The current speed on that road is 30 miles per hour. Back about 7 years ago, it was 20 the entire road, but it was entirely too slow. So it was increased to 30, and now it is within front of the school and that property, they're going too fast. So Barry's going to put a sign within 500 feet of each end of the property saying 20 miles an hour, and the remaining of the road on each side will stay 30.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Go.
And there's it. I just saw fight. 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 Yeah, we got two. One for that. They screwed up. You can only go one time. Pick up some apple. Oh. They say pick up some apple. Yeah, Mr. Rock with that. Yeah, I'm ready. Terrible show. Give a read. How you doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
We will now move forward. We will go to ordinance number 2025-005, sponsored by Councilman Wayne Ardoin, an ordinance to amend section 26-2047 in Article 3, junked motor vehicles or abandoned motor vehicles in Chapter 26 of the St. Andrew Parish Code of Ordinances to include old and new tires in the definition of junked items. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Mr. Ardoin, would you like to give us any
The
input?
reason why I'm offering this ordinance, that in a neighborhood in District 9, which is a very populated neighborhood, a family who owns a tire company decided they were going to store their tires in the yard next to all of the neighbors. And it not only causes, we always asking that, people try to get rid of water, standing water for mosquitoes. It's not good for the reptiles, it's not good for the rodents, and it's not good for the neighborhood, so that's why I'm offering that an ordinance, so that our parish government can enforce this ordinance. It's self-explanatory.
Okay, we will have comments and questions for the next 15 minutes on this. Any other councilman has question, comment, or concern? Anybody in the audience, welcome to come up to the mic and speak if you do. Mr. Lejeune?
Mr. Ordway,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me if they reported that to DEQ?
That I cannot tell you. I know I called up solid waste and spoke to the gentleman over there, and I was told there was nothing they could do. But I can remember years ago, just out of Lewisburg, they had a lounge, and I think it was called Gitter's Lounge, as you passed going south. They had a bunch of tires that were stacked up there, and DEQ came and they picked up all the tires. And now when you go get some tires put on your vehicles, they take your tires and they charge for the discarding of those tires. So in other words, what I'm saying, I think there is something that DEQ is, in charge of there. But in the neighborhood, in close proximity, and there's a coulee right there. So what's happening there, when it rains, and those tires are stacked up there, where the water's gonna go? There's no roof over those tires. So the water's gonna go in the tires, it's gonna stay there, and it's gonna be dormant water, and the mosquitoes are gonna hatch out, and then it's gonna be overpopulated with mosquitoes there, and then also the rodents, the reptiles, everything else. It's just not good for the neighborhood. Now, they have been removed, but I was told by Mr. Swallow that for them to enforce it, that we needed an ordinance, something in writing, so that's why I'm offering as an ordinance. Shit.
And Mr. Ordway,
Yes, sir.
the ordinance is gonna be enforced by our code enforcement officer?
That's what I understand. It can be enforced also by the sheriff's department, or if it's in the city limits, which right where I'm talking about, city limit, the corporation limits are right nearby. So that could be enforced also by the city police.
I'm sure the city of Opelousas got their own code enforcement officer though.
Well, that I do not know, but I know that, they do, do their job.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, City of Opelousas has code enforcement. Yes. To the folks that recently came in, if anybody wanted to speak during our next meeting, that starts at 6, you need to fill out a card on the back table and then bring it up to me, just so I can acknowledge you and give you a chance to speak, or if you're just listening in, that's fine.
That's it. Tiffany. He said, stop moving your mic. I had to put it on somebody.
Man, y'all nasty.
Okay, I'd like to call to order St. Andrew Parish Council regular meeting for Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. We will begin with our pledge of allegiance and invocation by Councilman Jolivet.
Come tonight to conduct the business and the affairs of our parish. Glad for your peace, O Lord God, joy and mercy as we go forth. Lord, we ask that this be done, conducted in a manner which will be pleasing to you. And that as we conclude, Father God, we will get home safe. Glory and honor to you. Amen.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Jody White,
Here.
Ms. Nancy Carrier,
Here.
Mr. Foji Jalavet,
Present.
Ms. Mildred Theory. Here. Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore,
Here.
Mr. Alvin Stelly,
Here.
Ms. Vivian Olivier, Mr. Wayne Ardoin, Mr. Dexter Brown,
Here.
Mr. Tim Lejeune,
Here.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards, Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Here.
Thank you.
At this time, item number 4, any condolences? We will start with Councilwoman Carrier then.
Yes. Williams Funeral Home, Mr. Corey Andre McClendon, Mr. Jonathan Narcisse Jr., Mr. Warren Norton, Mr. James Warner, Ford and Joseph, Miss Celestine Theory, Damon Key, Valerie Valaire, Thomas Jones, Martha Martell, LaFon Gwen, Charles Ryder, Melanson Helen Ann Barlow, Miss Rose Marie Charles. I'm sorry, it's Miss Helen Ann Barlow Moulton.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Jolivet,
None at this time, sir.
Councilwoman Theory,
Ford and Joseph, Gerald N. Richard, Brenda Joyce Joubert, Paulette Rideau, Lonnie Mae Harrison, Thomas Jones, Celestine Theory, my sister-in-law, LaFon Ardoin, Joseph Lee Laverne, James Reynold Fontenot, LaVille, Jocelyn Dupree, Williams, Warren, Andrew Norton, Roy David Henry, Alberta Young LaChapelle, Jonathan Christopher Narcisse Jr., Cody Andre McClendon, Mary L. Richard, Anna Marie Parish, Gail Ann Young Wright, Priscilla Agnes Lewis, and Annie Lee Davis Savoy. That concludes my list.
thank you,
None
ma'am.
at this time.
Okay, Councilman Marks,
Yes, District 6 has Holly Dejon, Annette Marks Hardy, Sean Christopher Rito, and Mr. Ralph Nazat, who was a longtime public servant, served on the police jury many, many years. That concludes.
Councilman
Mr. Ralph
Shelley.
Nazat, he was on my drainage board for 14 years. He passed away. It's a Bill Funeral Home, Opelousas.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Lee. All right, Mr. Taylor. Ardoin, Mr. Ardoin.
Thank you, sir. LaFon Ardoin, Mr. James R. Fontenot, and Seville Funeral Home, Mr. Ralph Nazat.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Brown.
Leave all of them at the Williams. Mr. Corey McClendon, Mr. John Hubbard, and Mr. Terrell Broussard. That's it, thank you.
All right, Mr. Lejeune.
I turned mine in, thank you.
All right, Mr. Jimmy.
I don't have none at this time.
And Mr. Blanchard.
I turned mine in, we had 31.
31. Okay. Moving on, item number 5. Persons to address the council. We have 3 people here, and I want to advise, we want to keep it to a max of about 5 minutes, if we can. I would start off with Ms. Mona Wilson. Come up to the mic, give us your name in reference to adjudicated property you want to speak on, correct?
Yes, sir. Good evening to all, and thank you for allowing me to speak. I have been living on the property in Washington where I live since roughly about 1994, 95, and it wasn't until December 2024 that this young man drove up to my yard to where I have my daughter a trailer, and he said that I lost the property through taxes. So my son and told him that we paid our taxes always. And so I had to go and find my property taxes, which were paid up. So he then informed me that it was adjudicated property that he bought. So the adjudicated property was from the other end of my driveway up to my steps on my porch. So once I step off the porch from this property that he has bought, which was supposedly adjudicated property, I thought was my property. But it has created a hardship for us because we can't park the cars on the driveway that we've been using because it's that disputed property. And we moved my adult daughter, a trailer there years ago, and it's in that strip. It's a 60-foot strip that goes back into 11 or 12 acres in the woods. So when we bought that property from Kurt Swallow and Dallas Leger, it was staked off. So we cleared that properties in 94, 95, and that's what I have been living on and maintaining, except for that 60 feet. So I'm here to ask, is it any way that we could look at that sale and rescind it? Because it's going to landlock everybody that's within that strip, because it's considered that adjudicated property.
Okay. Any councilman have any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Regarding that matter, I advise her to get an attorney and to file whatever motion they can file in courts. We just can't just turn this sale around because it was done properly. The property lines that's in place was done, and it is what it is at this point. And there's nothing that we can do as a government to reverse the sale. So I advise her to get an attorney and see if an attorney could find something that would make that happen. But as far as the parish is concerned, it was adjudicated property, and the surveys show it, so.
And also, if I may add, thank you, Mr. President, there's an ordinance in 2022 that says that a sign is to be put on adjudicated property before it's sold. Had a sign been there or someone come and say, you are on adjudicated property, I would have tried to acquire it myself. And you also have an ordinance that says the adjoining property owner will be able to buy that without a public sale.
So the adjoining property owner can do that, a state statute, but they have to maintain that ground for a year and swear on an affidavit, and then the parish can sell it to that person without going to a public sale for the assessed value of the property. In this particular case, it's not the case. It was adjoining landowner, but nobody filed anything with us regarding that. That's why I
We
said
didn't know that the
attorney.
property was for sale, because I've always thought that that was my property. When we walked it off with Kurt Swallow, those stakes were there. And the property, the stakes that they came and surveyed went up to my steps.
I know, I went out there, I see it, but I can't do anything about it myself. That's why I advise you to get an attorney.
Okay.
Have an attorney file whatever motions that they can do.
Okay,
But I mean, I can, and maybe Mr. Garrett could tell us something different. Maybe the council can do something, but I can't. So I'm
as
not
far as the
sure.
ordinance,
Ma'am?
as far as the ordinance placing signs on the property to alert someone that you're about to sell this property, it is ordinance.
I don't think that ordinance specifies that we shall do it. I think we can do it. I think we do it whenever we want to sell the property, we do it. But whenever somebody comes and puts a deposit down, we go through the motions as far as advertisements and everything else. We put up signs ourselves on property that we want to sell because we have work put into it.
So you said property that you want to sell as far as the government,
Right.
parish government, it's not adjudicated?
No, it's adjudicated property, but we have property that we know is ours and we did work on it, so we want to sell it.
Okay.
Most of the time, like in your case, the person comes to us with the deposit and wants to buy the property. And
So
then that's
how do
what
they
starts
know
it.
that it's for sale? If I'm not a computer literate person, not saying me per se, if someone's not on a computer or social media or something like that and you want to sell property, how do you let that person know that this property is for sale?
So the person who came and put the deposit down started the whole process of buying that property. Then it goes through advertisements. It's not just on social media, it's in the Eunice News, and it's done through ordinances through the council. It's a lengthy process to sell adjudicated property.
Okay. So at this point, go ahead, Mr. Garrett.
One of the reasons for consulting with an attorney is because if you are landlocked, you may have a legal servitude to get to the road and back. That's one of the reasons. And then any other questions you have, you consult with a property attorney.
Yes.
So
And then the other, I'm gonna be done once I say this. The strip that he has to pass on to get to that property, that's my property.
So if someone is landlocked, they may and could have a legal servitude to get to a road and back.
Okay. So if I want to park two cars, he has room to pass, which I never denied him. But if I want to park two cars or three cars, have something for anybody, my family have an outing or something, and they park those cars on my property, and he wants to go to his property, what happens? Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do y'all have he doesn't have no right of way to that property in the back?
What actually happened was, I think he bought the other lots, two blocks down, which is Walnut. And that starts that big 11, well, it's a 0.6, 0.5, and then it goes to 11 acres. Then it comes up that 60 strip in the front of my house. But when I bought the property, roughly about 140 some feet of that is where those stakes were. So when they surveyed it, where those stakes were, they put those two stakes that I saw, and then they had two others, and then the other two that was in the back. So I saw four stakes, which we walked it with Kurt Swallow and Dallas Leger. We walked that property before I paid for it. And the other stakes, they put it like right by my step. And I told them I would have never had a house there if I knew that that wasn't my property. Because if I step off my step, I'm on that property.
You want somebody else's land?
Yes, and that's trespassing.
Well, I think to conclude the matter, yeah, if the sale has already been done based on what we've heard, that's probably gonna be your only out, is to get the attorney, and maybe a judge can see about who's landlocked, who's what, and if something can be reversed at that point.
Yes.
That's what it would have to boil down to.
Well, I really appreciate you guys listening, and thank you.
Okay, well, Ms. Moore?
Thank you for coming, Mr. Mona.
Yes.
Now, have you spoken to that gentleman or that person about purchasing that property? Are they in favor of maybe you purchasing that piece of property that's in question?
He's actually not talking right now because it wasn't
A good.
we drove up into the yard. I wasn't there. I was at work. And my son's there, and he hunts on the property in the back. Well, he drove up with a trailer and a couple of other guys, and in the front of my daughter's trailer, in the front of my house, and said that they were on his property. So my son doesn't understand that because we've been paying on that property. He was a baby.
Have you
He's
seeked,
32 years old.
Have you seeked an attorney to see about this matter before coming here?
Attorneys are not cheap.
Well, no, thoroughly understand that.
And when you talk to them, consultation is $275, which I paid. But the fee to kind of fight this is going to be a bit much. I'm just returning to work. So, but I appreciate your time, everybody, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, next up, in reference to St. Andrew Parish Tourist Commission, Mr. Paul Scott.
How you doing? My name is Paul Scott, and I know most of you from years past of appealing to different events that we've tried to give in the parish. And in a irony, I want to be on the Parish Tourist Commission. It's a weird thing, because I think we can really do some changes. In fact, just today, for the first time ever, Delic Industries is going to be a sponsor of Festival International in Lafayette. So money comes in, money goes out the parish. Tourism is a flowing thing. It's a flow. It's a river. It's a river. Like I say, just a short background on myself who don't know me. Worked with several festivals, created several festivals, Festival International, Zydeco Festival in Plaisance, Step and Strut, whether you liked it or not. We still brought in tourism, brought in people in the San Andrew Parish to spend money. So for some reason, I happen to be good at that. Some of my, if appointed to the commission, one of my outreaches, aside from working with the director, is to reorganize the definition of the word farmer's market, where we can redefine that and get that churning back over. I just had a conversation with Mr. Chenier, who's a farmer on the north end that's actually was participating in the Baton Rouge farmer's market. Recently quit doing that because it was a loss to him to drive all the way to Baton Rouge. So he's still a farmer. He's still putting it out there. It's a tourist mecca. You know, the new park in Lafayette is basically a private park that does a great farmers market, brings people in, and that's what we want on tourism. You want people to bring in to see Opelousas, St. Andrew Parish in a whole new light. That I think some of the corners haven't been shined up, haven't really been shined up, especially in the Melville area and in the Palmetto area. We got diamonds sitting out there. We got three waterfronts, Catawba, Tesh, the river, that we don't use. It's a great flow for tourism right now. We were just talking about some housing developments. Also worked with a couple of housing developments in Opelousas and St. Andrew Parish. Did a big project in Sunset of where do you go when you do get home? When you come in from the Lafayettes and the Baton Rouges and the Lake Charles, what do you do? Do you just go home, or do you want to go sit in the park? Do you want to go fishing? Do you want to do something aside from just, the grind? Tourism supplies that. So, I'm Paul Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For coming.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Any
Mr.
questions?
Scott? All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Scott.
sir. Thank you.
Okay, next up, also in reference to tourism, Ms. Felicia Kaplan.
Yes, hi, I'm Felicia Kaplan, and I live in Orneville. I'm in Mr. Stelly's district, and I'm originally from Eunice, though, and I used to own the old Seal Guest House, and it was Le Village Guest House and event venue. And we were honored by Festival International as being kind of the face of Acadiana as a bed and breakfast and event center. And we won also a Louis Award for the Louisiana Tourism Council. So I've been very active for many years in tourism, so I think I'm very qualified to be on the commission. Right now, I just moved to Orneville not too long ago, and I love it. And speaking of waterways, we have the great Bayou Teche, we have Bayou Fusilier, and I'm really enjoying seeing all the opportunities to partner with all the different tourism groups, because we have quite a few. I know you probably know that, but that's what I think that St. Landry Tourism Commission does really, really well, is they do partner with all these groups. And I'd appreciate your consideration. Any questions?
We have any questions for Ms. Kaplan? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to approval of minutes for our regular meeting held February 19th, 2025.
So moved.
Ms. Nancy Carrier?
Yes.
Mr. Paul Jolly?
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory? Yes. Mr. Howard Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Ken Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier? Mr. Wayne Ardoin?
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Approval of minutes for our special meeting held March 5th, 2025.
Move. Second.
Okay, Mr. Paul Jolly?
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory? Mr. Howard Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Ken Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Kelly? Ms. Vivian Olivier?
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin?
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard?
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier? Motion passed.
Okay, Parish President's report.
The only thing I have is the reasons for abstaining from the vote. I sent out a packet, and everybody should have had it. I just want to clarify that our parish ordinance dictates what abstaining or the lack of there. So as long as we don't have no confusion, I mean, I agree, like Mr. Marks was saying before the meeting, if there's a conflict that needs to be stated, and the council can decide on that vote, but that's what the ordinance calls for, so it's either yes or no.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Mr. Ardoin.
Mr. Duperchant, you read the memorandum?
Yes, I have the ordinance right here, which it's an ordinance that was passed by the council some time ago. It says that every member who shows up for a meeting, including the chairman, if a question is put, then that councilman shall vote on one side or the other, unless the parish council, for a special reason, excuses that member from voting. The chairman, of course, to maintain impartiality, doesn't have to vote unless it would affect the outcome. And then further states, in the absence of any special rule to the contrary, the council is governed by Robert's order. But there is a special rule to the contrary, which is this ordinance that the council passed some time ago, stating that each member shall vote unless the council, for a special reason, excuses them from voting. Now, whether or not you can abstain, it's not found in Robert's Rules of Order, it's not found in state statute, it's not found in the Home Rule Charter. It was tucked away in our Code of Ordinances, which, I found it. And so, because it's not in the Home Rule Charter, it's in an ordinance, the council can amend or alter that ordinance however they want to. But for right now, that's what the ordinance states.
Okay, well, I want to ask this question. Let's say that you're getting ready to vote on the Tourist Commission, or you're getting ready to vote on 911 board, or whatever board, and you have a relative that's on that board, and you did not put the relative on the board, but that relative is on the board, and it's not blood kin. You can abstain and state the reason why you are abstaining not to vote?
You would have to state the reason why, because it's the parish council can excuse that councilman from voting for a special reason, not a reason that is unknown, but a special reason that is known, so you would state the reason.
So you state the reason?
Right.
Okay, all right.
Then the council, if it's a special reason, then, I don't think they could be forced to violate the code of ethics, but we have to know the reason.
Okay. You answered my question. Thank you.
I have a question.
Well, I do too. So for clarity, the council can amend what was voted on previously.
Yes, the council can amend and alter an ordinance, and this is in an ordinance. So, the council would decide,
Okay.
what it wants to do.
That answers my question. Mr.
So,
Taylor?
Counselor, back to Mr. Ordway's question.
if you have a conflict of interest because you're related, you can't say I abstain because I have a conflict of interest? Or does the council have to give you permission to have that reason?
Well, it says here that the councilman can be excused from voting by the parish council once they state the reason. What you're asking me is if the council can force a councilman to vote to violate an ethical rule.
Would you read number 6 again? Maybe I misunderstood it.
So the ordinance says, every member who shall be present, including the chairman, when a question is put, shall vote on one side or the other, unless the parish council, for special reasons, shall excuse that.
Okay, you can stop right there. So the council has to vote on giving you permission to excuse yourself. Is that correct?
Right. But they have to make the reason known, then the council can vote.
Okay, but my question was, does the council have to vote on giving you special dispensation to excuse yourself?
Yes, because. the
Okay,
council-
thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Blanchard, you still have a question, sir?
Yeah, it was almost the same thing, but shouldn't you, if you want to be excused, shouldn't you ask the chairman and state why you want to be excused and ask the chairman to vote on that? To excuse you?
Well, it says the parish.
what he said.
council,
You had to vote on it.
doesn't say, unless the
That's stupid.
chairman for special reasons shall excuse the member. It says, unless the parish council for special reasons shall excuse the member.
Mr. Chairman.
So it says parish council, it doesn't say parish chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if there's no other questions, I have a follow-up.
You good, Mr. Blanchard?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, what does Robert Rules of Order say about this?
Doesn't say anything about it. You can't find it in Robert's Rules of Order, the Home Rule Charter, and state statutes. You can, but it is in an ordinance that the council.
I understand. What does Robert Rules of Order say about it?
It doesn't say anything about it.
In other words, you can say I abstain, or I'm present. Is that correct? No, don't read that. Read Robert's Rules of Order.
Robert's Rules of Order doesn't say anything
My
about.
point is, we could substitute this ordinance with an amendment that allows you to follow Robert's Rules of Order, which is what it says we can do in number 10.
Yeah. It's an ordinance, so the council can amend and alter that.
Okay,
ordinance
thank you very
however they
much.
want to.
That's what I was getting at, Mr. Taylor. I think if we want to look.
Just
at
wanted to
this-
get clarity on
If we
that.
want to look at this, we can go back and amend an ordinance. Okay.
Oh, I have a question, Mr. White, Mr. President. So in the
Ms. Carey?
meantime, but in the meantime, in the meantime, can you hear me, Mr. Timmy?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I can.
Thank you. Okay, in the meantime, if a person decides until this ordinance is amended to abstain, are the deputies going to haul us out if we decide not to explain ourselves?
That's ridiculous.
No,
That's
You know,
I don't think we're gonna.
Oh, so we don't have to worry about that.
I don't think we get to a point where abstaining would get you
Yeah, I didn't.
escorted out of a meeting. I don't think
so
we're.
we'll get to a point, where common sense
That's
well
fine.
inside.
Just as long as everybody.
Okay, Ms.
I would suggest that we move on. I think we're spending a lot of unnecessary time on something that has been explained.
Yes. Okay, Mr. President, that's all you have in reference to that? Okay.
Move we accept the report?
I move we accept the report.
We got a motion and a second. Move in a second. Go ahead.
Ms. Mildred?
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory? Mr. Harold Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Ken Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Sterling? Ms. Vivian Olivier?
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ordwin?
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune?
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard?
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier?
Yes.
Mr. Paul Shattuck?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, new business. Items passed through the committee. Number 1, vote to appoint one appointment to the St. Andrew Parish Tourist Commission for a 3-year term. Applicants, Mr. Paul Scott and Ms. Felicia Kaplan Wiggins.
So,
Well, we have to do a vote on it, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I have voting sheet, please. Starting with Ms. Nancy Carrier,
Mr. Scott.
Mr. Paul Shattuck,
Ms. Wiggins.
Ms. Mildred Theory,
Mr. Scott,
Mr. Harold Taylor,
Mr. Paul Scott.
Mr. Ken Marks,
Ms. Wiggins?
Mr. Alvin Sterling. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Mr. Alvin.
Williams.
Wiggins.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Vivian Olivier,
Wiggins.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin,
Paul Scott.
Mr. Dexter Brown,
Mr. Paul Scott?
Mr. Timmy Lejeune, Mr. Jimmy Edwards, Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Wiggins. Make a motion, we accept.
What's the vote?
Well,
Ms. Felicia Kaplan Wiggins has been appointed to the St. Andrew Parish Tourist Commission.
okay,
Motion, we accept.
we have a move.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Harold Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Ken Marks,
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Sterling,
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier,
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin,
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lejeune,
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards, Mr. Ernest Blanchard,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier,
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet,
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Pierce.
Yes.
Congratulations, Ms. Wiggins.
Congratulations, Ms. Wiggins.
I'm sorry, I'm also a little bit hard of hearing, so thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, item number 2, authorize the council clerk to advertise for 2 appointments to Fire District Number 2 for a 2-year term.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ken Marks,
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Sterling,
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier, Mr. Wayne Ardoin,
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lejeune,
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier,
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet,
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory,
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Item number 3, authorize the council clerk to advertise for 3 appointments to Bellevue and Cooley Crochet Gravity Drainage District Number 20 for a 4-year term.
So made.
Second.
Mr. Alvin Sterling,
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier,
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin,
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lejeune,
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier,
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet,
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory,
Yes.
Mr. Howard Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Ken Morris.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Item number 4, vote to increase council clerk Sherelle Jordan's rate of pay to $30 per hour.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
if I may, I would like to approach the podium and talk about this item before we vote on it.
Okay, I'll grant you.
I just think it's proper to discuss this thing a little bit because every time we gave a raise here for our clerks, we always gave each of them a raise. I'm definitely not against any of our employees, which we are the ones that give the raise to the clerks. I'm not against them getting a raise. But I know I handed y'all out the minutes of the May 9th, 2018 meeting, when we all agreed, that was present, and the council members that were there at that time, to let Miss Karen work at $22 an hour and train Sherelle, because we hadn't chosen one yet. So when Sherelle came, she trained Sherelle, and then Sherelle became our clerk, which she was coming here to be the clerk, because Karen chose not to be the full-time clerk. She wanted to be a part-time person. Now she's back at $15.75 an hour. Sherelle is making $23.38 an hour, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna bring up to give Sherelle a raise of $7. Now, I understand through a memorandum that the $7, once we spend that $7, that's it. We can't give Karen a raise. My thing is with the $7 that we have, that's there in front of us, let's give Sherelle a $5 raise an hour and give Karen $2 an hour raise. Sherelle, I have all the respect for you, and I have all the respect for Karen. But when I was chairperson this last year, when you would call me and say, Mr. Wayne, my little girl is sick, or you couldn't come to work, I would always say, Sherelle, is Karen coming to work? Sometimes Karen came to work, that way she switched her days, because she only works 24 hours a week, to accommodate so that when people would call this phone number here, they would get someone, a person on the phone to help. And I'm just up here as just being fair to everyone that's involved, and those two people are involved. And I just think it's not fair that we pass Karen up and give Sherelle the raise. I just think that let's split it, and that way then everybody can walk away happy. And I think we can walk away with a good heart, because it's like Karen is nothing here. I mean, my thing is, if she walks away tomorrow, then we're going to be looking for an assistant clerk. And Sherelle's going to have to put the boots on and fill up 5 days a week. Because sometimes she has a little leniency where she can leave, and Karen is here those 24 hours. So that's why I'm here asking, because I seen some, like the memorandum said, Mr. Bellard, out of all respect for your memorandum, we've seen some clerks come and go here. We had some good ones. We had some, yes. They probably maybe shouldn't have stayed as long as they did. And they're both doing a good job. I think that we all call on them. We all, as council members, call on Karen, and we call on Sherelle. So let's just try to be fair about this whole situation. We have $7 to deal with. Let's spread it amongst these two ladies and be fair to them.
So you offering a motion to do this?
I'm offering it as a motion that we split the $7, give Sherelle $5 an hour raise, and give Karen $2 an hour raise.
I'll second that.
Can't make it from down there.
Yeah.
They got the floor.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll have to repeat that when you get back up here, Mr. Ordway.
You'll have to repeat it. It says you can't make it from the well. You have to make it from your seat on the council.
I will make it from my seat. It's just, I wanted to try to make everybody understand, because those minutes right there lightened up everybody's eyes, I think. So, at this time, I'm going to offer it as a motion. To deal
And I
with
offer
Ms.
the
Sherelle
second.
Jordan's raise, that we give Ms. Jordan a $5 an hour raise, and we give Ms. Karen Barlow a $2 an hour raise.
And you have a second, Mr. Chairman.
So that becomes a sub-motion to the agenda?
You would have to.
Sir?
You would have to, I would think.
It will become a sub-motion at that point, right?
Yes.
What would become a sub-motion? We only have one
Make a
motion on the floor,
motion,
Mr. Chairman.
we pay Sherelle $30 an hour.
That your sub-motion, Mr.
No,
Ordway?
sir, that is the actual motion based on the.
Well, you didn't make the actual motion, sir.
Then I'll make it a sub-motion, Mr. Taylor, but it's
Great.
going
We'll
for
vote on the
$30 an hour.
sub-motion first. Thank you. So you have a second on that, you said?
On that $30? You want to give me a second?
No, I already made
You
a
got a
second.
second? I got a second.
Okay, so we voted on the sub-motion, which is to give Sherelle a $30 an hour, a $7 raise, and not pay Karen anything. Is that the sub-motion?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Okay, so what we vote on?
All right, which one we gonna vote
I-
on?
We gonna vote on the main motion.
No, you got to vote on the sub-motion first.
On the sub, hell, I had
We're on the
two.
sub-motion first.
Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
And before we vote, Mr. Chairman,
He's not voting, he's.
Wait.
announce.
So who are we recognizing?
I
Mr.
recognize
Ordway or
Mr. Jonathan.
myself?
I recognize Mr. Jonathan. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
sir. I was under the impression and the understanding that we were not leaving Ms. Karen out, that based on funding and how to get this through, that we would do one of our council clerks at a time, because I did inquire about Ms. Karen, and it was told to me that as the funds would become available, we would also consider Ms. Karen. Is that not the fact here?
That's what I intended. I don't know if you're asking me the question. That's the way I was looking at it myself.
Well,
So was I, you know.
so whoever the motion was.
So the initial motion was made by Mr. Lejeune.
So is
that what you intended at
That is
this
the
point?
intent, and there's a motion that was made at the last meeting by Mr. Brown to make sure it's on the agenda for next month's meeting.
Right.
Okay,
That is correct.
okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ardoin?
Mr. Bellard, on your memorandum that you sent out last week, did you say that there's no funding, and there's not gonna be any funding in a few months to recognize Ms. Barlow?
So the memorandum that I sent out was just to be clear that it's about retaining people, not about giving raises, it's about retaining personnel. And I thought I was very clear on that one. That's y'all employee, y'all do what y'all need to do with employees. But at the end of the day, we have to deal with new employees. I feel that if the raise is not given to Ms. Jordan, she will find another job and then she'll move on. And then a new council clerk has to be hired and probably at that rate of pay, which y'all are agreeing to tonight. And then we get somebody in office that is fresh and has no knowledge. This is the longest standing council clerk that y'all ever had after 7 years. Nobody stayed that long. And all that knowledge leaves with her. So I'm not against anybody else working, but we checked into Municode, and Municode can have our minutes typed up for $8,000 a year, all of our minutes. So at the end of the day, Ms. Sherrill takes care of the entire office of the council clerk. She is responsible for all of y'all minutes and responsible for all of y'all doings. And if she would happen to leave, y'all don't just lose an employee. We lose somebody with a lot of knowledge and a lot of dedication for the past 7 years. So it's about retaining employees, not about giving raises.
Okay, Mr. Staley?
So the question was, do we have money in the future to give Ms. Barlow a raise?
As of
Is
right
that the
now,
question, Mr. Albright?
That's my question. Yes, sir. The memorandum was sent. There's no
yeah,
money.
as of right now, no.
Well, there we go. So Karen trained Sherrill, and now we're gonna overlook her. She can do, she does all the typing anyway. I mean, come on.
I feel that's.
We have two motions on the floor, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to call for a vote on them.
Okay.
What vote we going for?
Now, the first motion, we're gonna vote on it.
The sub-motion goes first now.
The first motion.
The sub-motion we're voting on first?
Yes, you always do the sub-motion first.
Okay. So we're gonna, okay, Ms. Vivian Olivier?
Wait.
First motion was
To give-
split of 5 and 2.
No. The sub-motion is to give Sherrill $7 an hour and not give Karen anything. That's what it means.
The sub-motion is to pay Sherrill $30 an hour.
Okay.
No, that is not right. Objection.
That's what you just
That
said.
is my motion, Mr. Taylor.
You
Objection to you.
had a sub-motion to give Sherrill $30 an hour.
That's exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's what I
That's
said.
what he said.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we're voting on the sub-motion right now for $30 an hour. Ms. Vivian Olivier?
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin?
No.
Mr. Dexter Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune?
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards? Mr. Ernest Blanchard? Ms. Nancy Carrier?
No.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet?
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory? Yes. Mr. Harold Taylor? Mr. Ken Marks?
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Staley?
No.
Okay. So with that, the next motion was,
The sub-motion becomes your main
The
motion.
sub-motion becomes the main motion. We have 8 votes on the sub-motion.
okay, all these motions.
The sub-motion becomes a main motion now. We got to do the vote again.
Yeah, it's just a repeat.
Okay. The main motion was the vote to increase the Sherrill Jordan rate of pay to $30 per hour?
Yes.
The main motion.
It becomes the main motion.
Okay.
Sub-motion becomes the main motion. Mr. Wayne Ardoin?
No.
Mr. Dexter Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Lejeune? Mr. Jimmy Edwards? Mr. Ernest Blanchard. Ms. Nancy Carrier.
No.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard. Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor.
No.
Mr. Ken Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
No.
And Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right.
Can I just say one thing real quick? Ms. Karen, you are very valuable to me, and I appreciate you.
I think that's discrimination.
Moving on to number 5, vote to appoint Vicky Fontenot, Denny Williams, Nellie Neely, and Howard Wilkes for 4 appointments to the St. Andrew Parish Waterworks District Number 5 for a 3-year term.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Legend.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard. Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory. Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Ken Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ordwin.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Number 6, vote to appoint Peter Smith Jr. and Joseph Darrell Burley for 2 appointments to Ward 2 Gravity Drainage District Number 1 for a 4-year term.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Timmy Legend.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Ken Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier. Mr. Wayne Ordwin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, ordinance to be introduced. Ordinance number 2025-006, an ordinance to sell adjudicated property to an adjoining landowner of the adjudicated property as per LARS 47:2202B. Think we need a sponsor for that one?
Mr. Chairman, I'll sponsor it.
All right, Mr. Jimmy Edwards. Ordinance to be adopted. Ordinance number 2025-004, an ordinance to amend St. Andrew Parish Code of Ordinances, Section 44-3, to have a speed limit of 20 miles per hour for Compress Road in front of the school, and the speed limit of 20 miles per hour shall also be imposed for 500 feet from the property line of the school in both directions.
So made. Second.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard. Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory. Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Ken Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ordwin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Legend.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Ordinance number 2025-005, an ordinance to amend section 26-47 and article 3, junked motor vehicles or abandoned motor vehicles in chapter 26 of the St. Andrew Parish Code of Ordinances to include old and new tires in the definition of junk items.
Motion. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Ken Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ordwin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Legend.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, resolutions to be adopted. Resolution number 005-2025, a resolution to grant Parish President Jesse Bellard authority to negotiate with the Office of Public Health regarding WIC reimbursement and signed contract.
So
So
moved.
made.
Second.
Ms. Nancy Carrier. Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Fulcher Jolivet.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory. Mr. Harold Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ordwin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Timmy Legend.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution number 006-2025, a resolution authorizing the president to execute an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for improvements at the St. Andrew Parish Airport.
So made.
Second.
Mr. Poetry Jolly,
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune. Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution number 007-2025. A resolution authorizing the president to execute an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for improvements at the airport.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Poetry Jolly.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, we have a third resolution, almost reads the same, but resolution number 008-2025. A resolution authorizing the president to execute an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for improvements at the Parish Airport.
So made.
Second.
Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly. Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune. Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Poetry Jolly.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. At this point, we approving the minutes for our Finance Committee meeting that was held Wednesday, March 5th, 2025.
Move we accept as typed. Second.
Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune. Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Poetry Jolly.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred
Yes.
Theory. Mr. Harold Taylor. Public Works.
Okay, and we approve the Public Works Committee meeting that was held Wednesday, March 5th, 2025.
Move we accept as typed. Second.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin.
Yes.
Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune. Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier.
Yes.
Mr. Poetry Jolly.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Second.
Ms. Vivian Olivier.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne Ardoin. Mr. Dexter Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Tim Lejeune. Mr. Jimmy Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest Blanchard.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Carrier. Mr. Poetry Jolly.
Yes.
Ms. Mildred Theory.
Yes.
Mr. Harold Taylor. Mr. Ken Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Stelly.
Yes.
Ms. Vivian Olivier. Meeting adjourned.
Adjourn.